make sure that this should be loud and clear in your mind, because I was told that this open session is primarily to help you to navigate in the examination, that what kind of examination it is. So it is anything but academic pursuit. Question is asked. Again, what is asked is not important. Why is asked is important. Why is asked is important, and that's why these two things I wanted to tell you. If you noticed it properly, I did not say economics. They don't ask economics, they ask Indian economy in the examination. Had it been academician, they would have said at least PhD is mandatory, masters in this subject with these many scores. They are to saying you take any subject of your choice. I'm least bothered. Shall we start? Fine. So I'm sure you have heard a lot about this examination and how to prepare. Fine. So I will keep my discussions confined to Indian economy itself. But before that, I get into Indian economy and challenges and all. Look, if you noticed it properly, I did not say economics. They don't ask economics, they ask Indian economy in the examination. So to make a few things clear in your mind, let me start from something else, because one of the biggest mistake most of the students do in the preparation is probably this. If I ask you, simply put, I'm not here for folklores, but I'm telling you some story to engage you. If I ask you that do one thing, I need a cook at my home, so please recruit a cook. Fine. So I'm requesting you that I need a cook at my home, please recruit a cook. So he said, sir, no problem, we'll recruit the cook. You advertise in the newspaper that cook needed, and you also said there will be a test, and on the basis of test and discussion, personality test, final selection will be done. Let's say 4 or 5 candidates applied. Fine. You ask the question, write about ladyfinger. Write about ladyfinger. Please try to understand, I'm trying to communicate something. Write about ladyfinger. That was the question you asked. Mr. A writes, ladyfinger's botanical name is this, floral diagram is this, all botany of ladyfinger he wrote. Will you recruit this fellow? Will you recruit this fellow? Yes or no? No. Why? Why? Come on, look at his knowledge. My God, he knows so much of botany of ladyfinger. Why not? Your need was of a cook, not of a teacher, maybe not of a botanist. If you are not doing this small mistake, how come UPSC will be doing it? What UPSC is actually searching? Do you think academicians? Had it been academician, they would have said at least PhD is mandatory, masters in this subject with these many scores. They are to saying you take any subject of your choice. I'm least bothered. Try to catch the point. Most of the students do this mistake. They think it's an academic pursuit, like they have done their graduations, post-graduation, and they read in the same fashion, in the same way. And when they write, and they write to the best of their potentials, and not getting selected, not getting score, they feel the examination is difficult. They buy another book to finish it. And these are the people who had made this preparation so heavy, and they are the one outside. Look at the plethora of books, materials. Do you think anyone can mug up all these things? Is it humanly possible? Probably no. Probably no. And average age of selection is still less than 25. Most of them are less than 25 years of age when they are getting selected.
What sets AIR2 and AIR3 apart in UPSC CSE 2024? They didn't wait to feel ready. They started smart with the GS Foundation course at Vision IS Delhi. Structured learning, focused current affairs, real mentorship, test feedback that actually helps you grow. This course isn't just about study hours, it's about direction, clarity, and the strategy toppers trust. Start strong. Start where toppers started.
preparation is not just about reading books or watching online lectures. It requires personal guidance, real discussions, and structured practice. This is where offline mentoring makes all the difference. Unlike online learning, where doubts often remain unresolved, offline mentoring offers direct interaction, real-time feedback, and an environment of discipline and competition. One-to-one sessions help students get tailored advice, strategy corrections, and focused improvement. Every aspirant has different strengths and weaknesses. Personal mentoring helps address them effectively. Ground discussions sharpen analytical thinking and help students develop a multi-dimensional perspective on issues crucial for prelims, mains, and interview. Elocution sessions help in personality development, clarity of thought, and confidence, essential for UPSC interviews. Test writing is the most crucial part of UPSC preparation. It helps in time management, structuring answers, and improving content quality. Offline mentoring is not just about teaching, it's about grooming future officers with the right guidance, discipline, and confidence. So if you are preparing for UPSC, make sure you have the right mentor by your side.
So clearly this is not about, one thing is for sure, that clearly this is not about what you can say academic pursuit. And this is the biggest mistake. That's why ask people, what you're studying? Economics. You have not to study economics. They will never ask economics. What they ask is Indian economy. That what is Indian economy, what are the prospects of it, what are the challenges before it, and so and so. And what you're mugging up, all the Keynesian logic, all diagrams and theories of economics, and thinking, oh, I have done a lot, like Mr. A. And once you're writing and not getting selected, oh my God, this examination is difficult. I need another book. I need another resource. Make sure that this should be loud and clear in your mind, because I was told that this open session is primarily to help you to navigate in the examination, that what kind of examination it is. So it is anything but academic pursuit. We are least bothered that which subject you have opted for, whether you have taken that subject in graduation or not, because we don't want to check that. We want to check something else. As I said rightly, we want to check cook. Now, Mr. B is writing. Lady finger can be cooked in gravy this way, in dry this way, and so and so. A or B? B. Now, C is writing. Lady finger is something which can be cooked in gravy this way, in dry this way, on chulha this way, in microwave this way. It is having these many vitamins and minerals. These people must have lady finger. Those who are suffering with these disease should avoid lady finger. ABC. C. This is exactly they are looking for. Why? What you liked in C if you compare with B? What was better in C? He was more comprehensive, or you can say was having multi-dimensional approach. Because to manage things better, simply put, what is UPSC examination? Who are IAS? Who are these bureaucrats? Managers for government, full stop. And manager does not need academic excellence. Manager needs that practical understanding to understand correlations between the things. That by doing this, these many consequences will be there. If I want to have this objective, these are the targets I have to meet. So simply put, it's manager's job. And that's why even I believe, and it's one of my all-time favorite statement, though not said by me, it was said way back by Alag, that best of the managers are still not made in IIM Ahmedabad. They are made in Mussoorie. Though they work for government because of the training and the kind of thing. A, B, C, I have one post, definitely C. If I got two posts, C and B both. Because this man has potential, can be trained. This man has that potential and can be trained if needed. Once I'll tell ki, haan, this is something you should consider, that fellow will be knowing it. And if I have 3 seats, then we'll recommend C and B and we'll keep 1 seat vacant. I'll say A is not suitable for sure. Because A has to unlearn something and then relearn, very difficult. And I can tell you, this body which conducts examination is so methodical, so meticulous, they can't do this mistake if we have not done this mistake. Just to support my argument, I would like to give an example. I'm sure you all are knowing that Dr. Kalam tried for UPSC examination, that Air Force examination, right? Conducted by UPSC itself, ND examination, what do you call? He was not recommended. He was surprised that my examination went well, I did well, why they have not recommended me? So when later on he became president, he has given this incidents in his book. Later on he became president, and as a president, president is the head of all the dossiers. So he asked army to give his dossier that what was so specially recommended, because he was under the impression my exam went well. So he asked, bring my dossier, let me see what they might have mentioned. And you know what was written in his dossier? Otherwise a first class candidate, was called creme de la creme. Otherwise a creme de la creme candidate, but cannot kill anyone, which is the primary requirement in the army. If you cannot kill anyone, no matter how good you are in the other things, you're not suitable for this job. The point I want to tell you, this is one of the most organized, meticulous system of examination. And that's why no matter, we all are knowing India is having corruption. But UPSC is still honest because of its methodology, because of its institution. And such an institution cannot be foolish that if they want academicians, they will say, go and read any subject. If I'm saying go and read any subject, I want to know how your approach to the subject is. I'm least bothered about the knowledge. I'm more interested in your approach, that how you take up a subject. Whether your approach is of understanding various dimensions and integrating it, or your approach is what is called a specific approach, that you are just detailing the things. As a bureaucrat, we want generalists, those who can understand various dimensions, the same thing from various dimensions, and can integrate them. So first thing first, you need to understand, because I know most of the students who when they start preparing, they get into this rat race. What is rat race? Oh, he has read these many books, or she is having plethora of articles and newspaper and this magazine, that magazine. I have to stand nowhere. Don't get into that. Don't get into that rat race. You should be knowing this examination is not academic pursuit. It is something more about your analysis, understanding, that how much you can analyze, understand, and can utilize it. Because simply put, it's a managerial job. You are the manager for the government, and as a manager, you should know the resources, how the resources are there, how they can be managed, and so and so. I hope I'm making some sense, because I had been logical, and I don't believe anyone should accept because I'm saying. Am I making some sense to you? Is it sounding logical to you? Had it been academic pursuit, the average age of selection must be 25 plus. As it is not, that's why average age of selection is less than 25. So simply put, JRF is academic pursuit. Average age of selection is more than 25. Simply. So considering all these things, you need to understand first that this examination is not about academic pursuit. So stop your resources. And that's why it's very important to know. You might have heard many times toppers are saying this, okay, this examination is about to know what to study, but more important, what to know also what not to study. Because otherwise, you are on information highway. You just click and n number of articles are available. And if you just one topic you fix yourself at, and you will see that how thousands of articles are there, and maybe entire year will be gone in that. So delimit your resources. That's what perhaps this session is all about. So in Indian economy, I'll tell you that what should be your minimalist approach of sources and to revise them more. Let me give one more example. To make my thing more logical to you. If I ask you again, what are those factors? What are those factors which made this classroom possible? What is going to be your answer? What are those factors which made this very classroom possible? Give it a try. What are those factors which made this classroom? I hope I'm making sense to all of you. What are those factors which made this classroom possible? What is going to be your answer? Infrastructure, student and teachers, language, Profitability of the business. What else? Demand. What else? Give it a try. Have I a difficult question? Participate. What are those factors which made this classroom possible? Request for learning, profitability, infrastructure, capital. What else? बाकी लोग बोल क्यों नहीं रहे? मतलब why you are thinking that you have to be perfect? Participate. Don't think about perfection. Perfection comes, naturally. Yes. Fine. Chalo, even if you're not answering. Were you listening me carefully? I deliberately wrote factors. I myself telling you it's more than one. That's why that penetrating eye is needed. I'm helping you. I just wrote deliberately so that you can see that I'm saying there are more than one. That's what a specific mind will only think one dimension. And a journalist mind, sharp journalist mind will consider multiple dimension. So this classroom was made possible. You all were right. Infrastructure was needed. Teacher was needed. Obviously, it is having a business pursuit also. This is objective, needless to say. Language was very important. Otherwise, what if we are not knowing a common language? This was not possible, isn't it? So some kind of infrastructure was needed. In fact, some kind of management was also needed. Somehow you might have been communicated that this will be the timing for the class. I was communicated that these are going to be timing for the class, and so, isn't it? You are not answering in a classroom, that itself is saying some value system we are into. I know you are not that silent outside. You are way more verbose, but you're not speaking here maybe because of the education system we are into. Did you notice? Everything is guided by four things, at least. Some kind of infrastructure, some kind of political system and management, some economic dimensions into it, some ethical cultural dimensions into it. Not a surprise, your GS has 4 papers. It's not just coincidence. Paper first is all about infrastructure. Paper 2 is all about political system. Paper 3 is all about economic and science technology. Paper 4 is about ethics and cultural aspect. It's not just coincidence. Nowadays, a 5th dimension is also adding, environment. What if this, don't you think, what if the class was in the evening? Maybe the footfall was slightly higher because it's parching outside. Isn't it? So these are the dimensions. And if you have to manage a classroom, if you know all these dimensions, don't you think you will be a better manager? That's why they want you to know all these. You should know that what makes India. It's what makes India, her geography, her social structure. You should know that what governs India, her constitution, and her relationships, keeping other countries in mind. From where she gets capital, how far she is in terms of science and technology, and what are the ethical cultural things. Maybe something which might be applicable in one part might not be applicable in another part. And that's why as a manager you should know all these. Even in this classroom, I know what kind of examples I can give. I cannot give similar example to a class 6 student. Maybe in some other country, if I'm taking class, I can give different kind of example which might be considered ill in this classroom. So don't you think the culture is governing me? So as a bureaucrat, you should know the correlations. And the 5th one is definitely now getting very important, environment. That's why in everything you see, there's always environment accessibility, environment impact, and these kind of things coming up. So that's how. Point is that reality is multidimensional, and that's why not just these dimensions, but their interdependence is what they're aspiring for. So don't read a number of things. Whatever you're reading, try to analyze and establish correlations between them. Don't you think the same me, the same you treat me differently in the university and you treat me differently here? Why? Isn't this factor determining it? Let's be honest. Isn't this factor determining it? So you know how economy can determine this authority structure and the vice versa. And that's why when the question is asked, again, what is asked is not important. Why is asked is important. Why is asked is important. And that's why these two things I wanted to tell you, to all those who are listening online, offline here, that first thing first, this examination is not about academic pursuit. And second, this examination is more about analysis and understanding correlations instead of just reading it one dimensional. So the next time you read, so look why they ask this kind of thing. If they're asking this question, that how Indian Railway impacts society. Can you see the question? Indian Railway impacting society. So it's not only about the social dimension, it's about the economic dimension, it's about the political dimension, the political linkages, and many more, cultural diffusion, and so and so. So this is what exactly they want to know when we talk about why GS is being designed that way. So it's not just a coincidence that you got 4 paper. All 4 paper are there. This is what, again, those who are from management, or if you ever read management, and when you go in training, you will hear this term. Actually, what I just said is called system theory. System theory says, for management, these 4 dimensions must be considered. Now, the 5th dimension is also been added, environment. So while taking any decision, don't you think while taking in, so as a academician, what you'll write? For women's safety, there must be CCTV cameras on the streets. सुनने में बहुत अच्छा लगा, but पैसा कहाँ से लाओगे इसके लिए? And as an academician, you will write this way. As a bureaucrat, you will write by adding some additional cess. Cess is a dedicated tax. By adding some additional cess, funds should be raised to install CCTV cameras, or it can be imposed in the CSR of the big companies. So now you're also talking about from where the fund will come. Or you may say this way also, that as the DPSP says under article so and so, that weaker section should be protected, considering the CSR fund, CCTV camera should be installed. This is how bureaucrats write. So that's where some people, when they are writing, when you read them, next time when you read any article in the newspaper and you like it, you will notice the fellow is talking about the infrastructural part, the political dimension of it, the financial dimension of it, the ethical cultural dimension of it. That's why you're liking this article. So should be your answers. So while writing answer, try to be multidisciplinary. This is what you should focus upon. So these 2 things, I did not want to miss this opportunity to talk to you, that first, it is not academic pursuit, and second, it's more about analysis and correlations than just reading one dimensional. Making sense? Now, having said that, coming back to the point directly, as I told you, in paper 3rd, we have what is called Indian economy, and that's why I'm not calling it economics now, because I clarified you now, it's not about economics, it's not about the theories. Some basic terms and terminologies can be asked, which you should know. Because obviously they do ask these kind of things. What do you understand by capital expenditure? What do you understand by revenue? And these kind of terms and terminologies, because if you don't have terms and terminologies, how you will apply it? So it's Indian economy which they ask. Now, when it comes to Indian economy, that's why I have written it Indian economy and its interaction with the world, challenges and opportunities. Because we want to see that where we are, our economy is, and how we can get benefited from the world in various ways. Your questions of both prelims and mains revolved around it. Now, in general, the weightage, if you look at, in prelims, don't worry, this PPTs will be uploaded, so you can look at there. In prelims, generally 15 to 20 questions are asked from economy. And you know what? Out of these 15-20 questions, almost 12-13 questions are doable. Why? Because in economics, they deliberately keep the questions simple. Unfortunately, our financial knowledge is very poor. Recently, FICCI conducted a research, and only 27% of the population in CP, only 27% of the population in CP kind of area could tell that what exactly repo rate is, what is balance of payment, what exactly it means when we say fiscal deficit and all. just 27%. Clearly indicates that our financial knowledge is very poor. We are not that good in financial knowledge. That's the reason why even UPSC also makes sure that the economics questions are not very twisted. Because if I have to select from this lot only, I have to keep it simple. That's why I said out of 15, 11, 12 questions are doable. And if you have done 11, 12 question right with assurance, generally 48 question, 45 to 50 question is the cutoff net. 1/4 of journey is being done. This examination is again, prelims particularly is not about, another mistake student do. Prelims is not about running here and there and winning every battle. Prelims is knowing those few battles which are strategic and to score there. Many of the students fail prelims not because of right questions but because of wrong questions. Because they want to win every battle. Knowing this is very important, where I should touch the question and where I should not. Many of the students, if you see their right questions, they would have been in the list. But they have missed because they have done more wrongs. And why they have done more wrong? Because they are prompt. They are prompt. They are not understanding where they are good at, where they are not good at. And that's another thing which I often say. So economics is something, or Indian economy helps you in prelims, because out of 15, 20 questions, for all 12, 13 questions are doable. And these 12, 13 questions, in these 12, 13 questions, 5, 6 questions are from basic terms and terminologies. For this NCERT class 12th, macroeconomics is a very good source. NCERT class 12th macroeconomics. So basic terms and terminologies are there, along with the newspaper, whatever special terms and terminologies are coming. So terms and terminology, and rest of the questions might be related to current affairs of that time. In mains, almost half of paper 3 is something which is from economy. And again, if you see the toppers list, toppers score, many of the toppers, especially up to top 50 rank, if you watch their paper mark sheets, they don't score well in paper 1. They score well in paper 2 and paper 3. Because paper 1 is very lengthy. The whole geography, the whole history and society is there. Paper 2 is something polity, governance and IR, and paper 3 is something which is having, let's say, your economy, science and technology. So what they do strategically, they don't give much of time to paper 1. Because if you're doing so many things, and this called input-output ratio. So if you're doing so many things, maybe return on investment is lesser. If you're giving the same time to paper 2 and paper 3, you will score better. And that's why, and here in economy, it's predictable that what kind of questions they may ask from economic survey, from budget and these kind. So there is an element of predictability also. That's the reason why many of the toppers, if you see their mark sheets, they are scoring in paper 3 better, in paper 2 better, if you compare to paper 1. Half of that is coming from economy, and that is again doable. Essay paper also, your financial understanding helps you to write a better pragmatic essay. Otherwise, your essay will be way too philosophical. So to write pragmatic essay, you need that financial tinge also. And this is where economy might be helpful. And so this is what exactly the weightage is. Now, as a teacher, we have interacted to those who got selected and those who missed also. In general, 5 major concerns they find in economy. So I will keep my discussion confined to this only. I know you had been listening since morning, so I'll keep it short also. These are the 5 concerns. First, what is the syllabus? Because in prelims, just one liner has been given, socioeconomic development. In mains, they had given some topics, but what exactly should be syllabus? This is what I think I will be helpful today. Because as per syllabus is concerned, on the basis of what UPSC had said, and on the basis of what kind of questions they have asked, we could draw an outline that syllabus might be from these topics mainly. I'm not saying the entire of it, but mainly from these topics. And then one more problem most of the students find in economics, that how to handle current affairs. Again, don't go for rat race. You're not supposed to mug up today Sensex has touched 82,000 points. You have to know what is Sensex. That's it. What are the basis on which this Sensex has been formed, and what is the relevance of it? Now, they never ask these kind of statistics. In fact, this is one of the biggest mistake people do in economics. They think economics is all about data. Go and see previous year question paper. Out of 14 questions, there will be not even a single question of data. Question is not about data. This question is more about your understanding. So if you see that handling current affairs is another very important concern, which I found the students may face problem. And one more thing I would like to talk about, that how to make your notes. In fact, I'm thankful to that girl, and she openly said on social platform, I was told that Sunil Sir's note might be good enough. So obviously, I'm not saying it just because of my notes, but yes, I must say how good your notes are. That determine a lot of things, because in those last 15-20 days, your notes should be your anchor. And that's why, albeit briefly, but I'll say something about notes also, that how to make proper notes, especially in my subject, which could be a win-win situation. And fifth, that what is the relevance of the previous year question paper? Why we should do the previous year question paper? A little about it. So let's talk one by one. As per syllabus is concerned, look, I had given you a quick list, and the list will be shared also, it will be uploaded. They ask every year one question about basic concept. Like this year they have asked what is working capital, what is fixed capital, which is primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector. So there were 3-4 questions based on these kind of things. One question was on capital, one question was on sectors, one question again basic understanding that whether you're having this idea of what is called fixed, what is flow, and these very basic. Again, NCERT serves the purpose. So basic concept, terms and terminologies, they ask one question in prelims. National income and its various attributes, this is where you study GDP, GNP, these kind of things. Again, NCERT could be a good source. They ask both in prelims and mains. Planning and associated issues, here what is planning, 5-year plans. Money and banking, this is very important topic, money and banking from prelims point of view. Every year at least 4 or 5 questions. Like this year, as the prelims is round the corner, I will be 0% surprised if something asked on cooperative bank, because we are talking a lot of cooperatives these days and so and so. So money and banking, this is the topic from where at least 4 or 5 questions every year. 4 or 5 questions they ask. As we have seen now from last 2 monetary policy committee, our stance is going dovish. So if you see that what exactly is dovish, what is hawkish, these kind of terms they ask. Money and banking, very important from prelims point of view. In fact, I have designed syllabus in such a way, the first slide is about both prelims and mains, primarily for prelims, and second slide will be more about mains topics. So money and banking, fiscal policy and budget, inflation, again, very important from prelims point of view, stock market and related dimensions, they ask some basic terms and terminologies. They never ask, don't think that again in the classrooms, you're not supposed to read this much. You should know only basic terminologies. But look, again, you get interested, and investments are subject to market risks. So it's not about that pursuit. It's about the basic idea, whether you're knowing how IPOs are issued, what are the SEBI guidelines. Like today, you might have read in the newspaper that SEBI has tightened the guideline for mutual fund managers again, considering some issues. All these kind of basic information you should have. This is something sectoral. Again, agriculture. Every year in mains, at least one predictable question. Industries, service sector, then inclusive growth and sustainability. These are mains topics. And if you see that out of these 8 mains topics, you get, and that's why I often say, not here in the classrooms, I say, economics in mains is full toss ball. If you know the placement, you can hit 6. Because out of these topics, you get short 4 or 5 questions. What all needed is to have some basic data, to have some basic policies and programs, and to interrelate it. So this is how we got, like this year they have asked question on food inflation, they asked question on civil aviation, because Boeing has come, if Boeing has come to India, how they will miss civil aviation? Now Boeing has come to India. We are going to make Airbuses in India now. So how they ask question civil aviation and the challenges of civil aviation in India. This year, again, we are working a lot on maritime. So maybe they may ask something on the coastal development and these kind of things. So it's having element of predictability. So these are the topics from mains point of view. And the third slide is about something which is more hybrid. So they ask in prelims also that what is this balance of payment, IMF, role of IMF, and these kind of things, and sometime might be in mains. So this is something which is about syllabus. Again, I had gone quicker considering this that you are listening since morning, but you can use this slide, you can properly chalk it down or write it down wherever you want, and then you can identify. Again, most of the topics are there in macroeconomics, NCERT. That's why I said NCERT is a very good source. And I often say about NCERT that NCERT is written for kids, not by kids. They are the best of the scholars of India. And only good scholars can write in simple way. And that's why I don't take NCERT, oh, ये तो बहुत simple लिखा हुआ है, ये काम का नहीं है. Clarity is unparalleled. So that's why NCERT class 12, only I'm saying class 12 macroeconomics, not others. And even from, if you have read Sandeep Garg, equally good. It's nothing but, you can say a kind of personalized version of NCERT. So that is how NCERT class 11, class 12, macroeconomics, very important. Don't go for micro, they don't ask microeconomics. They ask macroeconomics in UPSC. Then, what could be the sources? As I said, NCERT 11, 12. Economic survey, I don't know how many of you are knowing it or not. There is one document given by Government of India called Economic Survey, Ministry of Finance, one day before the budget, which says that what is overall situation of economy for the given financial year. Whatever the given financial year is, what has been the economic development and all. This is a very good source. Though original document is very bulk here, but many organizations, even Vision provides also a brief of it. A brief kind of, that just barely in 20-30 pages. And that is a good source. That by and large suffices your requirement. Any standard book, again, when it comes to, I'll say ki in this examination, rather than having n number of books, read NCERT, take any standard book and revise it more. Because unless until you're not revising, when you read anything first time, you just get acquaintance. When you read it for second time, you can see the correlations. When you read it third time, then you understand the analysis part. And when you do it fourth time, that is where now you're ready to use. That's why at least revise more. Instead of just reading another book, another thing, revise more. So one of the biggest mistake people do that they don't revise. So revise more. Whatever your preparation model is, if you are giving 5 hours for it, at least 2 hours should be for revision. Only 3 hours for new things. And when I say revise more, revision should be done in 2 ways. First, whatever you have studied, revise it, and then do questions on it. When you are doing questions, then you will notice, oh my God, I thought this topic is not important. This line is not important, but the question has been asked. So once you see the question and then going back to the notes or book, then you will see suddenly clarity is coming. So revision should be whatever book or notes you are following, read it thoroughly, revise it, and then do the question and see what is accuracy. First time, maybe accuracy is 40-50%. Second time, when you cross-check, okay, I was missing this point. This is an important point. And then you'll see that it jumps to 60-70%. And by third, fourth revision, it will go to 80-85% and job is done. So this is how you should be revising more. Any standard book you can use. There are various books available. Nitin Singhania's book is there. Then we have book of Ramesh Singh also there. There are a number of books. Ramesh Singh's book is good. You can refer to, not an issue. Question bank on previous year question paper must be there. So I often say when it comes to Indian economy, you must have 2 things. NCERT class 12th and a question bank. Question bank of the previous year question paper. So that you're solving more questions. More questions you're solving, you'll understand, okay, fine, this is the topic I should consider, this is the thing I have to consider, and so and so. So this is how question bank of previous year should be there. Then how to handle current affairs. Again, I know this generation is social media generation. So even I have uplisted now podcast. So you can listen to podcasts, daily basis podcasts, but make sure you're not overloaded with the information. Social media is good, but you should be using it wisely. What they call mental, brain rot. I'm sure you have heard this word, which is considered to be Oxford Dictionary word this year, brain rot, because of they have used a term called doom scrolling. There is a term called doom scrolling. Economic Survey has used this term, doom scrolling, and even this movie is talking about the challenges of social media now. That series, web series on Netflix. So if you see that, talking about it, it's very adolescent. So social media is good, but use it wisely. In fact, I can tell you, just off the record, that in top 20, at least 3 students I know whose parents have taken the mobile 2 months before the prelims examination. They've taken the mobile away. No more mobile now. Because it is a distraction. You don't know, but it's a distraction. And how it eats up your time, difficult to identify. So they have, it's very important that you should be using it wisely. So use social media, but because I know that social media is making various things available. In fact, we have various channels of Vision also. Other channels are there. Official channels are there by the government. Rajya Sabha TV is having, even we have one thing called Prime Minister's app is also there. So any of the social media, it's up to you where you're convenient. But listen to a podcast if you could, and read newspaper. I can tell you one thing which I'm sure you're not going to believe me unless until you're cross-check it. In Indian Express, there is one article, there is one chapter rather a page called Explained. In last year's prelims and mains, there was hardly any question of current affairs which was not explained in that.
UPSC CSE 2024 results are out and dreams have turned into ranks. Now you are asking, how do I get there? You've got the drive. What you need is the right guidance. Lakshya Integrated Mentoring Program 2026 by Vision IAS is your one-stop guidance program for prelims, mains, and interview. Smart, strategic revision for prelims and mains. Consistent mentorship with personalized feedback. Daily weekly schedule and practice targets. Custom test practice via Sandhan test series. Interview and personality test training. All of it structured to guide you, strategic to keep you focused, and designed to meet your evolving needs. New batch starts from 19th May. It's your turn now. Start strong with Lakshya Mentoring Program 2026. Are you still juggling newspapers, random notes, and endless PDFs trying to make sense of current affairs? Let's make your UPSC prep smarter. Introducing Digital Current Affairs Premium by Vision IAS, your all-in-one platform to read, revise, and write better every single day. Have a doubt from today's news or something in your syllabus? Just ask and get instant AI-powered answers that are concise, relevant, and completely aligned with the UPSC exam pattern. No more guesswork, no more confusion. Want to boost your mains writing skills? Practice daily with structured questions and get expert feedback to sharpen your content, clarity, and analysis, because writing well is winning half the battle. Need better revision? Use quick notes and highlights to save key points, mark important lines, and organize your current affairs in a way that actually works for you. And here's the best part, some of the most powerful tools are absolutely free. Daily news summaries from The Hindu, Indian Express and more, curated, filtered, and exam ready. Downloadable PDFs so your notes stay organized and accessible. Daily quizzes and MCQs to reinforce what you've learned and track your progress. A smart student dashboard to monitor your performance and stay on top of your goals. Whether you're just starting or deep into your prep, Digital Current Affairs Premium adapts to your strategy and makes every minute count. So why prepare the hard way when you can prepare the smart way? Visit www.visionis.in/current-affairs and start transforming your current affairs prep today. Because with Vision IAS, you don't just stay updated, you stay ahead.
So 365 days multiplied by roughly 2 articles, and if you got its cutting, so what you should do, get its cutting, read the article and scribble there only on your, take a A4 sheet, attach the article and scribble there what are key points to remember, and do revise it on and off. That could be a very good strategy. Making sense to you? So take that cutting, paste it on the A4 size, and this way you will get some roughly 400-500 pages document by the end of the year. But that will be a very genuine source, because this explained is now done in Hindu also. So be it Indian Express, Hindu, they all do it. Not reading newspaper is a mistake, because no matter whosoever is writing a magazine, we are always biased that UPSC has asked this kind of question, this might be asked, and so and so. Newspaper is neutral. Newspapers are not written for UPSC. They are neutral. And when they're explaining, that explanation is something very useful. Like today, there was a very good explanation in Indian Express about core inflation and how it is. You should have a cutting of it. That how it is. Once you have done your that thing in your chapter, take a note. Keep a space for it. Take a note and revise it properly. So this way you will see that you are very solid in your current affairs. And this I'm saying not only for probably economy, it might be useful in other things also. So this way, when we got how to handle current affairs, and then obviously Visions magazine is perhaps one of the most widely read magazine, 365 and Mains 365. That is something which is compilation of year-long news, but those students get more benefited who have already done these kind of things. So that is how you can handle, and as per budget and economic surveys concerned, we have open sessions on it, and we have what is called classroom discussions on it, and synopsis also provided, which is a very good source for it. So this is how you can handle the current affairs. Now, why to do questions? Just for a quick references, like let's say they have asked this question on, this question is about money supply. Money supply. So let's say they have asked this question on money supply, what will be the impact of money supply if somebody has withdrawn the money from demand deposit and so and so. Now once you know this, you come to know, okay, something related to money supply might be important. So what happens, you got a reference also, that if a news coming about money supply, I should take a note of it. Because when the budget is passed, you get the news that money supply was this much, multiplier was this much, and so and so. So once you do the question, you know that, okay, this is my curriculum. This thing I should consider. So they have asked question, West Texas Intermediate. This question was about West Texas Intermediate is a kind of petroleum. It's a kind of petroleum product we have. Now let's say if you know this, next time whenever any petroleum product you read in newspaper, you will be suddenly alert. This kind of question has been asked, I should be a bit careful. So this works as a reference also, that what might be asked and why I should take a note of it. Let's say they have asked in mains also that what kind of, they have asked questions on defined potential GDP and its determinants and so and so. So now once you're doing the previous question paper, you know that whether your topic is clear or not, what to study, how much to study. And let's say, look, agriculture produce in India. Abhi, this month's Kurukshetra has given a dedicated synopsis on MSME. Wonderful one. Wonderful resource. That MSME, and the very first article is of this month's Kurukshetra is micro, small, medium enterprises and cooperatives. I can bet this something of the similar nature will be there in the mains. It's just around the corner, you'll see that. Something of the similar nature might be asked. That's why there is an element of predictability, trust me. This examination, again, I'll say, is not about academic. I don't think it's hide and seek. You need to be a bit organized and the job is done. So this is the advantage when you do the previous year question paper. What kind of question might be asked, what could be the source, and so and so. So that's why you should be doing previous year question paper. Then this is something which I know and don't think I'm treating you as a child, but you should make your notes properly. How? Let me give you a quick example. Let's say you studied in your class GDP, wherever you're studying, here, anywhere, from self-study, whatever. So you studied GDP from sources, right? Now you make your proper notes. That's why even in the class I give proper dictations for it. And once you got proper notes, then keep these spaces on your copy, notebook, whatever you're having. Why? You have made it. Now go and read NCERT. Maybe one or two additional thing you might get. You can write this way, from NCERT this. And these kind of questions has been asked. Even you should take a note of that also, that what kind of question has been asked. So this kind of question has been asked from this topic. Now, let's say tomorrow there's a news on GDP. There's a news on GDP. What you should do? You have read in explain section something there. You come and write here. Date, on which date this news was, and what was the news. Advantage is, now next time when you're revising this, even this current affair will be revised. Current affair will be revised. And there's another hidden advantage. And what is that? When you are writing, as you have very less space, you will know how to write in few words. Very useful in the mains examination. You will suddenly see you are making flow charts, you're making diagrams. This is what is needed there also. It will come in your habit. And when you're revising this, even this will be revised. Keep this available for what? You can do it in your way. I'm just giving an example. But there must be space. Have this space for what? Let's say you're doing any question from previous years and you got something interesting right here. Page number of the book and what was the finding. Why page number, why date? So that if cross-check is needed, it should be done. That shows you're organized. You think you will never forget, but maybe within a week you'll forget kahan padha tha isko. But you have, that's why references are important. Now, this is organized. That's why just looking at your one page notes, I can tell you what are your chances in this examination. Because that will tell me how organized you are, how methodical you are. Some people are very mambo-jumbo. They know a lot of things, but they could not organize it. And a few of them not knowing that much, but they are very organized, and the latter make it into this examination. So make your notes properly. And why I'm saying so? Because again, if I do a quick test, if I'm giving 10 names, Amitabh Bachchan, Dhoni, Sachin Tendulkar, Ranveer, and a number of, if I'm giving 10 names, first name you will remember for sure, last name you will remember for sure. In between 2-3 names you can remember depending on your likes and dislikes. Not all 10 names you can recall. Once the class is over, you cannot recall all the 10 names. You can recall the last name for sure, the first name for sure, and maybe 2-3 names which are very personal to you. This is called recency effect. Year-long what you have studied is overweighted by what you have studied in the last 1 month. So last 1 month should be very organized. क्योंकि वही याद रहेगा आपको एग्जाम में. So last 1 month should be dedicated for revision, more and more revision, and revision from these organized resources. So next time when you're revising GDP, all the questions you have done are being revised, all the information you got are been revised 1 month before the examination. Now you are ready. I hope I'm making sense to you. So this is how your strategy should be, that how to make notes. And again, don't go for unnecessary compilation. NCERT is very good, very lucidly written. Yes, there are resources like even Vision is having its own Vision Intelligence, and we have crafted question sets that can be utilized, but do more revision. Retention is more important. So do more revision, do more previous year question paper. You may do what is called AI generated questions also, but make sure that previous year question paper should be your anchor, because that is something on that algorithm only questions are made. So that's how you should be looking into that, how to pursue and what should be the dimensions. So I hope this was the journey. Quickly, I said 5 things we should remember. First, I said that this examination is not about academic pursuit. So next time when someone is flaunting additional information, say with all modesty, thank you, but I'm not interested. You should know it's revision and analysis and correlation which is more important. Be multidimensional. Start connecting the things. Everything has an effect on somewhere, and the effect will be on more than one. So next time when you see the cause and effect, what will be the effect of this on various things? So let's say war. God forbid, we are having war with, let's say we are having this dispute with Pakistan. Now just don't look at only war is happening and who will win and who will lose. Look at other dimensions also. The social aspect, the environmental aspect, the financial aspect. Don't you think that we are displaying our defense potential also, creating defense market? It should be visible in answer. It should be visible in answer that this also provided an opportunity. We are encashing that opportunity now. We have proven that our radar systems are way better. S4 not has done wonderful. You should be knowing all these things. So just don't write from that emotional, India-Pakistan angle. You should know the financial aspect, because India is now going to have a potential defense market. Every country now wants BrahMos. Already we have demands. We have yet not made a single unit, but demands are pouring in. So this is financial aspect, that how it could be useful for us. It will create jobs. It will create jobs, and these kind of whatever disputes we are having in Turkey. Don't look at from the political angle. Look at the financial angle of it. Look at the other challenges of it. So this is how. Second request is that be multidimensional. Try to see the things from various facets. Third thing is confine your resources and revise more. Revise more. Fourth, when I say revise more, don't just revise passively. Do the questions that will help you to know that where you are missing it out. Where you're missing it out and how to. And fifth, as per current affairs is concerned, don't go for detailing. Look at why, not the data. That why this is and what will be the consequences for this, I told you. And don't miss out the newspaper. Listen to podcast. You are social media generation, what is called Gen Zs. But do listen to podcasts and all, but don't miss out the newspaper. It still is relevant. So these are a few things I wanted to say, how to prepare economy. And trust me, economy, it has happened every year that when people get selected, they say, sir, economy ne bacha liya. There are few subjects you don't like in the classroom, but these are the saviors. Economy is one of them. So this was about what about Indian economy, and in general what this examination is about. I hope this session was useful for you. Thank you.